Well, it is Wednesday night. It is sports talk, and we are about to go over some Wednesday football for the NFL. Are you ready?
It took six. It took almost 7 days to play one full week of football.
Yeah, and we're about to get into it in just a second. I still say that sounds like just horrible porn music.
It is horrible porn music.
I'm just waiting for the pizza man to come into the room and be like, "Hey, where's my tip?" That's it.
You get what's his name? They come in. What's that guy's name?
Don't say Ron Jeremy because he's in jail.
No, the guy that did Zach and Mary make a porno.
Seth Rogen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's coming in as the milkman.
All right, look. Enough of porn, because I could talk about porn all night, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about another.
If we actually do a show about porn, we have to get James on because James is the master of porn.
We're going to talk about another type of fisting, all right? And that was what the Steelers defense did. Well, I mean, the Ravens defense probably did even more fisting.
The Ravens defense did a lot more than, Jesus.
Well, they're the only ones ever actually what do you call it? The starters for. I mean, I think maybe a couple of people from the defense was out, but that was on the line. Their defensive backs, their secondary, those are the ones that's their strength, and that's basically what kept this game a lot closer than we thought it was going to be.
I honestly think, if Lamar was healthy, they would have won this game.
Well, so here's
they would have won this game
before the game started, and when I saw all the players on the Ravens that were out, their tight end, Andrews, Snead, a few other really big players that on their offense. Mostly, like I said, most of them were on the offensive side of the ball. I was like, all right, if the Steelers don't win convincingly, there's a problem. Now I get it was a cold day. But there's no excuses. And even Ben said it at the end of the game. They just play like shit.
Yeah, Ben wasn't throwing too bad.
They were dropping the ball. Too many drops. Claypool, Johnson, too many drops.
They dropped a lot. When I saw them go in the first time, and it was right after the pick six.
Yeah.
And they came on the field, and Ben got them into the, down to the 2 or the 3, wherever they were.
Right.
And he threw the interception. But before that, they were drop.
Yep.
I'm like, what
now,
the hell
one
is going
drop,
on here?
I can't remember who dropped it, but the one drop that was near the goal line, I don't know if he was going to get in it or not. But the other drop that I'm pretty sure was, what do you call it, Ebron.
Abron dropped one.
And you know why he dropped it?
Johnson, I don't know if Johnson dropped it.
Johnson dropped 2 or 3.
No, but there was one in the end zone where I think it hit his knee. Well, because that ball really ricocheted after he...
That should have been caught. Then there was another one that was just timed perfectly by the defender, and he knocked it out of the way. But again, these balls could have been caught. And the one drop by Ebron was he was trying to run before he caught the ball. So, he didn't wait, and he dropped it. So, look, yes.
I hate when wide receivers do that. I know you want to take off and run, but Jesus.
Catch the ball first.
Have control before you even start to
catch the ball first. Don't try to do too much right away. Catch the ball first. But so yes, we can credit the Ravens defense because they deserve it. They do.
They really, yeah.
But the Steelers played sloppy too. Let's not call it as it is. Let's not. I'm sorry.
And now.
Let's call it as it is.
I'm starting to lean now, saying that now it's going to be between Patrick and Derrick Henry for the MVP this year.
Okay.
I think my I think it's what Sippy said a while back, and you said Monday as well. Most valuable piece,
Yeah.
and Ben is the most valuable piece. He didn't look like an MVP today.
No, his defense looked like the MVP. It was
Yeah.
basically his defense. They did come, they did. And the other thing is too, though, RG3 looked horrible. I mean, McSorley got his first career touchdown. It was a good. I mean, it was
a damn good pass.
It was a good pass, but Brown made some moves to get into that end zone.
He had them tripping over themselves.
It ended up being a 70-yard catch, but what was the throw? Maybe 30 yards? I think Brown ran the rest for 40. I don't know.
I think it was split in half. I think it was 35-35. It's just 70-yard catch and run.
So I mean, he did more in the air than RG3 did all day. I think RG3 finished with, what was it, 60 yards? No, hold on. 68 rushing yards. He had that big run though. I was like, okay, well, here we go. Because I mean, he was known for that even in his, when he came in as a rookie, he was known for his mobility.
Yeah, but that's what they were saying throughout the whole game, is that when he was in Washington, he had that one good year.
Yeah.
Then he got hurt, and then all of a sudden they gave up on him and they went to Cousins, and Cousins was like, okay, this is our quarterback now, and then and then he disappeared.
And Cousins went to Minnesota. Yeah.
But if RG3 was trying to get a performance where he can show some of the team that he's useful as a quarterback,
he didn't do it. He didn't do it. I mean, he did pull a hamstring too. It looked like he hurt his hamstring on the one run. He didn't look 100% either, especially after that. So look, again, the Steelers are leading in almost, I think almost all categories on defense, and no other team has done that. The Steelers' defense is a lot better than even I thought.
Well, T.J. Watt got 2 sacks today. He's
him and what's the combination? Him and the other guy. I can't remember. They showed it on the screen.
Oh, yeah, because they were comparing them and Leonard and the other guy on
Donald.
Donald. Donald and the other guy on the Rams.
Right.
Comparing them to TJ and
right. At that point, when they showed the graphic, the Rams, Donald and the other guy was 17 sacks total. And Watt and the other guy, I can't remember, was 17 and a half. But I don't think that's what they finished with. I think they finished with more.
Yeah, they did. Because TJ had 2.
Yeah.
So that got him up to 19 and a half.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, and we were talking about before we went on air, and I even mentioned that if JJ wanted to get out of Houston, you're going to have the whole Watt family play.
I had no idea Derek was their fullback.
I didn't know either. And then all of a sudden they mentioned Derek, and I said, wait a minute, Derek Watt? And I'm looking it up, and I'm like, oh shit! I said Derek is on the Steelers.
Are you sure they didn't say Derek and he went what?
I don't know why this called DJ. Let's just call him DJ Watt.
But so look, let's just be honest. The Ravens started horribly. The miscommunication between RG3 and what was it? Not Snead, the junior guy. I'm trying to think of it before Snell. I didn't want to look at the paper. The miscommunication between him and Snell Jr. Snell thought he was going to keep the ball.
Wait, isn't Snell on Pittsburgh?
No, I thought Snell Jr. was. You might be right.
Snell is the running back for Pittsburgh. Leave
me alone. Okay, you're right. So who was it on the Ravens then? Not Snead. Snead, I think, was out. Is it not Turner? Why don't I have it written down? Anyway, thanks for calling me up, but thanks for correcting me. I don't want to sound stupid because I've said stupid things before on air, and then when I rewatch it, I'm like, that's not fucking true. Yeah, why would I even say that? Hey, you're right. Snell Jr.'s on the Steelers. That was my fault, Mike. Thank you for correcting me. But so anyway, the running back of the Ravens, the very first play, I think they went to run the ball. It was an option. RG wanted to keep it and run the ball himself, but the running back just held on to it, and it was a fumble. So you had that miscommunication right there. Steelers did nothing with it. Remember, they elected to go for it on 4th down. And that's when Ben threw the interception.
Gus Edwards was the running back.
Okay. I would never have known that. Okay. So then, Ben throws an interception in the end zone. They didn't come up with points, but at the same time, it doesn't really hurt them that much because the Steelers were, the Ravens were pinned back, I believe, in their own 5. Then you fast forward to the very next sequence, and then RG throws a, no. First was a punt. There was a punt on the very first sequence.
Right.
Then the fumble. Then the pick 6 by Joe Hayden. Is it Joe or is it Joe?
No. No, the pick 6 was done prior to the punt. Because the punt was a fumble, and then they scored right after that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's how they got their first 7 points, was after the punt fumble.
6 points.
Well, no, but then they made the extra point, and they got 7, Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore was up 7-6 is what you're saying.
Right.
Okay.
Or 9-7. It was 7-6 or 9-7, one of the two.
Okay, you're right. All right, you're right. I thought they kicked a field goal from there. I didn't know they got the points. Why am I off? Why do I feel like that's not right?
Because we're watching a Wednesday game that should have been played a week ago.
Yeah, but I was looking at, for some reason I can't even open up my apps right now. Great.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me get to the score.
No, I got it. Don't worry about it. It's right here. I'm on ESPN now.
And also Chris Collinsworth had a very nice week. He actually stayed in Pittsburgh the whole week. Him and Michelle Tapoya.
He made a joke saying he bought a condo there.
He did. He said it right. He said, "Yeah, I bought a condo."
Yeah, I'm glad he said that. He was stuck in Pittsburgh for a week.
He said the food was good.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't complain too.
Hey, well, if you go to Cremini Brothers over there, you get that sandwich where they put I think it's roast beef or something, and they put coleslaw and French fries on rye bread. It's a sick sandwich. Let me see if I can find this.
So,
all right. So, Baltimore punted first. Then Pittsburgh punted.
I got Pittsburgh punting first. And then the Ravens fumbled. Then Pittsburgh threw an interception. Right?
When Pittsburgh had the interception.
Then the Ravens threw an interception for a touchdown.
Right. Then they had another punt.
Right. And then that's when the fumble happened too, because then it was 7-6 Baltimore. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know how they did this over here.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Either way, both teams on offense did not look very good. A lot of miscues with the wide receivers for the Steelers. RG never got anything going except for that one really good run up the middle. And that was pretty much it. And the only really points that they scored via touchdown was the what do you call it? Was the McSorley touchdown.
Yeah.
Right? RG never threw a touchdown, right?
No, I think there was one running touchdown. That was it. Because they got the 7. Because they got the 7 running in.
Yeah, because RG only threw for 33, had an interception and a fumble, and ran for 68.
Right.
And then Ben, 266, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That's not all that good. And I'm glad they showed, so I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but right before the game, they showed the graphic and they showed you his QBR. And they even said you would think with the touchdown and interception ratio of that nature, the QBR would be much higher. But because of the way the design of the offense, and because there's a lot of short and quick throws by Ben, they don't move the ball that much per yard, per throw. Is that not that many yards? So that's why his QBR is so low.
They actually said this is the quickest Ben's been thrown his whole career. I mean, they actually showed a video from another game, I think from 2011 or something.
He's getting the ball. He's getting rid of the ball a lot quicker.
And he's throwing. It took him 7 seconds to throw a touchdown pass.
Now, what do you think this does now? If the Steelers would have lost this game, it really wouldn't have hurt them. I don't think that much. The worst they could do is maybe knock them out of the first round bye, because they would be tied with the Chiefs, and I don't know who would get the tiebreaker because neither one of them play. So I don't know what would have happened there. I don't know who would get. I think then it goes by division wins or something like that. I really don't know. I forgot how they calculate that. But the Ravens needed to win this because now they're 6-5.
Yep.
All right. They're tied, I believe, with who's the other team they're tied with? The Raiders. So now the Raiders and the Chiefs, the Raiders and the Ravens are tied at 6-5. So I don't know. This Ravens team needs to. I mean, again, they're going to get full strength again once Lamar comes back and the rest of their offense comes back. I believe their next game is against Dallas, so they should win that. But they have some tough games ahead.
Oh, and Edwards was the rushing touchdown.
Okay.
To answer that question.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
But I think the game after, if I'm not mistaken, without looking, because I'm pretty sure I saw that on the graphic on while we were watching it live, I believe the game after Dallas is Cleveland. So, that's a big game for the Ravens. The Ravens at 6-5, they need to start winning. There's too many teams in front of them.
All right. So their upcoming games is, because they get rewarded for bad behavior, so they get to play on a Tuesday.
Right, Dallas.
And they get Dallas. Then you got to play Cleveland.
Okay. I was right.
And it's at Cleveland.
Yeah.
Then you play the Jaguars.
Okay.
Then you got the Giants.
Yeah.
Then you get the Bengals.
So, I mean, their schedule is fairly easy.
3. They could go 3-2 because I think the Giants defense can try to. The Giants defense has been stepping up with that.
Well, let's see. Let's hope. But the Steelers, on the other hand, the Steelers, so not this upcoming week, because they have Washington, but the very next game, which is on my brother's birthday, I'm actually going there.
It's Buffalo.
Yeah. So, and my brother's a Buffalo Bills fan, so that's why he wants to, and they're playing on his birthday, so that's why, he's excited about it. It should be a very, very big game. And I don't know which way to go with that. The way the Steelers play tonight, my money would be on Buffalo. But again, we've seen Buffalo play some shitty games too.
Exactly.
Despite being 8-3, they're still an 8-3 team. Well, I'm glad the game was finally played. The only thing that I didn't get, and then we don't have to stay on this game too much because it was a 19-14 game. It was kind of an ugly game, but they had who scored when they said that? Anyway, Tirico said after a touchdown was scored, right? They had said, "Oh, this is the first." I believe it was after the Ravens scored the touchdown, the McSorley touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that was the first down pass by the Ravens. I don't know if it was in the quarter or in the game.
I think it was the first. No, it was. It was the first down pass throughout the whole game.
Right. So but Collinsworth said, but that was a touchdown. That's not a first down. Tirico said, no, a touchdown is a first down. I don't think that's true.
I don't think so either. The ball.
I'll tell you why. And this
it was a first down because he threw the yardage to get yards.
But I'll tell you why I do not believe that's accurate. I think Tirico's wrong. And the only reason why I say that is I play Madden. I've been playing Madden since it's been out for Genesis, but
exactly.
I play Madden, and the last Madden I owned was Madden 19. That was last year's Madden. So I was playing, or 2 years ago, whatever. I was playing Madden, and they give you things to do. I'm trying to think of the correct word to say that. You have to complete certain tasks. You got to complete certain tasks. So they might ask you to have 2 first downs in one sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
I play, I cheat. I make creative plays, whatever. Long story short, I usually score a touchdown on one pass. If I score a touchdown on one pass and I need a first down, I will not get accredited for that first down if I score a touchdown. So that is why I think Tirico was wrong. I do not believe a touchdown equals a first down because it's not.
I'll tell you one thing. Pittsburgh's schedule's a lot harder.
Oh, 100%. But they're not playing to the only thing they're playing for right now
is undefeated.
Is to be undefeated. I don't think
and to still keep the number one spot in the playoffs.
Right. If that's what I meant more than being undefeated. They're more playing to get the first round bye because look, I know Cleveland's only 3 games back at 8-3, right? But
Right.
I mean, it would take a monumental meltdown for the Steelers to lose 3 or 4 games in a row.
Right. But even if you look at their schedule coming up, now they got to play Monday night or Monday afternoon or Monday night. No, Monday afternoon at 5:00.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing Washington. Washington has been playing really good.
Washington has been playing good, and that's I'll be honest, that's a game that a few weeks ago I would have said, oh, that's an easy W for Pittsburgh.
Exactly. You can't say that now.
No, definitely not. Especially again after the way and they played at home too. That's the other thing that worries me too, is that they played at home.
Well, they're playing Washington at home too on this one.
Okay.
Then they got Buffalo, like you said. Your brother Mike is a Bills fan. You said, right?
Yeah.
So you said that Buffalo, they'll be playing in Buffalo, so it'll probably be a little bit a lot colder than it would. Pittsburgh gets cold too in the wintertime.
Yeah, but December, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised by the 13th if they get hit with a few big snowstorms up there in Buffalo.
Of course, it's South Toronto over there, the Park Canadian.
Yeah.
And then, the easiest game on the schedule is Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Then they got to play Indy. Indy's been playing Jekyll and Hyde lately.
Yeah, but you still don't know. That's still a tough team. It's still a tough team to beat.
But they are playing in Pittsburgh, and then they got to go to Cleveland to finish out the year.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what's going to happen there with Baker, if he's going to even, play a decent game up against them. So, as Baltimore's got an easier chance to get into the playoffs, then, we could be looking, everybody's saying the 16-0, and, even I listened to First Take this morning, and, just watching clips on ESPN, and even Stephen A. saying, and Matt Cohen both saying that, you're looking at the undefeated thing, not just for betting, but think of Mike Tomlin's legacy. Yep. Winning, winning a Super Bowl, being there for 14 years, and also being an African American head coach, which everybody always says it's impossible to be a head coach and be black in the NFL.
Yeah,
Mike Tomlin's been doing it for 14 years
and successfully.
Very he never had a losing season.
No, and that's one of the
things.
He
was 8-8. That was it.
And that's one of the things that they said about the Steelers too. Their organization, they actually always pick really good coaches. They really do. Tomlin, Cowler.
Think about it. You only had 3 coaches.
Yeah.
Since I started watching, since I can remember watching football.
Yeah.
Chuck Noll.
Right.
Cowler.
I'm sorry, Bill Cowher.
And
Mike Tomlin. Yeah.
So
dude, look at the Patriots. What is it for me? As far as again, I don't really know much about the Patriots before Parcells, but who you got? Parcells and wait, was Parcells? Yeah, Parcells was.
Yeah, Parcells was.
Parcells and what do you call it? Belichick.
And Pete Carroll.
I forgot about Carroll. You're right. Okay, I do remember as far back as Carroll. That's it.
Well, no, I think Carroll.
No, Carroll was the Jets.
No. Carroll actually, I think Pete Carroll had a coach 1 year after Parcells left.
Okay.
It was some type of deal with Belichick. Belichick couldn't take the coaching job.
Okay, I didn't know that. I know.
I think it was something like that.
I know Parcells and Carroll both coached the Jets as well. That I know. But
Carroll came from the Bill Parcells winning tree, so that's why he's been. You look at all those coaches. I mean, if you think about the list of coaches, I know we're going off topic a little bit as we normally do, but Pete Carroll, Bill Belichick, Tom Coughlin, they're all disciples of Parcells.
Yeah, no, it's all stemmed from the New York Giant era.
Yep.
So, So look, this was a game that the Steelers needed to win. They did.
They won. It wasn't pretty.
It wasn't pretty by any means.
And I'm finally getting off my Ben for MVP kick.
It's tough.
They have
Look,
to
dude,
rush
it's
in that.
tough. It's tough to win an
No, it
MVP in the
is.
league.
It is. I mean, but when you got somebody like Patrick, I
Yeah,
mean,
you take Mahomes out of the equation, maybe, but you know, look who it is.
Sippy.
There he is.
Speaking of the devil.
I mean, I wished him a happy birthday on his live stream. I think
Yeah,
last
happy
night. But
belated, Sippy.
I do want to repeat the notion. I do want to repeat and say on air, happy birthday. I hope you enjoyed your day, dude. And I know for a fact you're enjoying your team as they keep continuing to roll. Chiefs are looking good. Chiefs are looking really good.
damn good.
And we were just talking about Pat Mahomes. I think pretty much at this stage, if not Derrick Henry, he's an easy shoe-in.
That's the only two I can think of right now.
He's an easy shoe-in for MVP. He's definitely not going to get gypped this year because I still can't fathom how they gave it to Lamar over Pat Mahomes. I just can't. At the end of the day, the trade-off was Mahomes won a Super Bowl. So, I mean, you can't really be too angry, but at the same time, thank you, brother.
You're welcome.
Yes, I know. It's the other thing. What's his name? Hall? Is that the guy you said, Coach Hall? I can't really remember the name, but I know that was the other thing you were excited about. Getting a coach at Southern Miss.
Unfortunately, we don't really follow NCAA football because of New York roots. We never really had an NCAA football.
Well, I mean, you got Rutgers, right? You got some big. The funny thing is, you got some decent NFL talent that came from Rutgers too. But yeah, that's the only thing we have is Rutgers, really.
I mean, St. John's is known for basketball.
St. John's is known for basketball, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
what about Syracuse? You can't forget Syracuse.
Well, that's part of Canada too.
So yeah, besides them too, that's really there's really not much. But yeah. So all right. So look, let's really quick.
Let's little Daniel Jones update before we go into the
yeah. Before I was quick to change the graphic, but it doesn't really matter because
no, you're good. You're good.
What?
So
what's the update on Danny Dimes?
He's going to be day to day until game day, and then we'll find out. From what I read online, Judge is not really jumping the gun to say he's going to start. He doesn't want him to go in and prevent another injury.
So Will Hall, the offensive coordinator, Tulane. Yeah, I actually seen Tulane play once a while back, like 20-some years ago. I went to see them up at West Point. They played. Shit, who plays in West Point? Is that Navy?
Army.
Is it Army? Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. I went to see Army play Tulane. It was.
But with Danny Dimes, it's going to be a game day decision probably if he can get out there. I was gonna mention to you this earlier when we were messaging throughout the day, and I said if he starts, if they can get, I say 24 to 27 points on the board, they got a chance of winning that game Sunday.
Yeah. So hold on a second. Let's rewind that because you need to say that out loud. You need to repeat and you need to rethink what you're saying. You're saying that you're saying with a straight face that the Giants need to put 27 points on the board.
Yeah.
When is that offense produced?
The Giants.
When is that offense produced anything of that nature? When
they can get past Seattle's defense with it, and also get through the D line with the way they've been playing. If Coleman can get through and get a lot of yardage, I'm telling you, if they can get 24 to 27 points on the board, it's going to be a competitive game.
Well, this is what they need to do. And I've been saying this week after week after week. It's no surprise. I mean, obviously it's easier said than done. I can say what they need to do, but that doesn't necessarily, it's going to translate to that happening on the field. But they need to stop with the bad play calls. They need to stop getting into these, long third down plays and punt the ball right away. Because what that does is, and we talked about this, it puts the defense on the field for too long. They get winded, they get tired, and by the end of the game, that's when the other teams start to come back.
Exactly.
The Giants need, I think Gallman, Lewis, Morris, whoever's going to hand off, whoever's going to touch that ball in that game. I guess Gallman's going to get the majority of the snaps, but Gallman needs to have a big game, but they need to drive the ball methodically down the field and chew the clock. The fewer snaps that Russell Wilson has and the offensive has for Seattle, the better chance the Giants have of winning that game. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, of course.
And that's their big problem. That is their big problem. It's, they get the ball, and in one or two sequences, they already have three and out, and that's it.
But
so the Giants need to move the ball well.
If they could put a stop to that, and like I said,
but I don't see it with Colt McCoy. I don't see it.
No, I'm saying with Danny. I'm not saying with Colt McCoy. You didn't hear what I said.
That's a big if. Because we don't know if he's going to be healthy by Sunday. That's number one.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If he's healthy and he gets out there and he plays and he can get 27 points, we know he can get 27 points on the board. He did it up against a few teams.
His offense needs to catch the fucking ball too. Slayton has to stop dropping these passes.
He's got to stop dropping passes.
Ingram needs to stop dropping passes.
Ingram's got to stop dropping 2 out of the 3 passes that he gets.
Yeah. Tate needs to stop crying. Why aren't they starting this kid Mac? Is he hurt?
I don't know.
They brought him in after Tate had his little temper tantrum. They brought in Mac, and he had a decent game. I mean, he didn't have the best game, but But no, first and foremost, as I said, they need to hold on to the ball longer. They need to methodically run the ball, because we know, again, Daniel Jones is getting better, but they've been putting the ball, he's even doing more on his feet than he's been doing most of the times in the air. He's their leading rusher. He's the quarterback. But yeah, they need to control the clock. They need to control time of possession. The less time Seattle has the ball,
like I said, they can win the game. They just have to play really smart.
And most people coming on right now are probably thinking, why the fuck are they talking about the Giants with the Mets logo in the background? I didn't know we were going to the Giants. I thought we were talking about the Steelers.
Well, I was just giving a quick update on Danny Dimes.
I didn't even get a chance to put this up. Fucking terrible towel. Go like this. This is what I was doing. This is what I was doing the whole night.
That is a terrible towel.
I know it is. Got it 25 years ago. Somebody I knew, I didn't go. I'd never been to Pittsburgh, but somebody I knew when I was working for George's, somebody went to the game. One of the workers went to the game, and they went to, this was before it was Heinz Field. I think it was Three Rivers back then. And
one of the workers from George's?
What?
One of the workers from George's?
Yeah.
Who went?
You remember Lisa, the Spanish girl that worked the cashier?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa and was it Joe? No, what was her husband's name? I think it was Joe. I think it was Joe, because there was 3 Joes. There was me, there was Joey Quesada, and I think him. I think that's what Lisa's boyfriend or husband was named. His first name was Joe.
Okay.
And either way, talk about getting off a fucking topic.
Okay.
All right, look, let's really quick, because we're already at 35 minutes with our Steelers and Ravens coverage. But let's switch gears. Let's talk about baseball. The Mets finally made a move. They
not
signed,
much of a move, but
they signed a piece that they could use in the bullpen. They signed a free agent right-hand pitcher, Trevor May, from the Minnesota Twins. Trevor May, I looked at his numbers. They're not bad. Career ERA is 4.44, but he was also a starter for his early part of his career. He made the full-time switch to the bullpen in 16. He went out with Tommy John surgery in 17, came back in 18, had a decent year, but 2019 was his best year. So that's promise. I don't count for any team, for any player, for any free agent. I don't count this upcoming season as any reflection of your career. So I don't care what numbers you put up at all. 2020 doesn't count.
Okay.
So 2019, Trevor May didn't have a bad year. He had a below 3, I think a 2.9 ERA. His strikeouts were there. He should be a good piece of that bullpen. And I hope Brad Hand is also still in consideration, because we talked about Brad Hand a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
He's a free agent coming out of Cleveland. He's a left-handed pitcher. He can throw hard still, but again, that left-handed piece from the bullpen is much needed, especially with the Mets, because I don't know. I know they had Justin Wilson for a while. I don't know if Wilson is still part of the team. But so they signed that. They signed Trevor, the wrong Trevor. We're still hoping for Trevor Bauer. And other rumors are swirling around that they're still eyeing James McCann, which is the catcher from the White Sox,
Mm-hmm.
and George Springer, center fielder from the Astros. And there are other teams in the running for him. And Toronto Blue Jays are a team that is supposedly being very aggressive in talks with him. So Toronto might come in and swoop him up. And that's probably one of their. And they even said that right now George Springer is their number one target, because they need a true outfielder. They need a center fielder.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
because they use Nimmo way too much in center field, and his plus minus, whatever they call it, with the defense is not good.
right. I mean, you need somebody out there that can actually play the position. So.
Yeah. And they're hoping Dom Smith. They're hoping if the DH is implemented this season coming up, if they can, if they strike a deal and they can vote on it, they're hoping they don't have to put Dom Smith in the outfield, and they can just put him at DH. So it's I think George Springer right now should be their next move. But there are other teams looking at James McCann, because of the money, because he's one of those valuable players. Like, he's not going to be that much. He's not going to be anywhere near where JT is asking for. He's not. I think he batted like 270, 280. He's not going to give you big numbers, but James McCann, for the money, I think could be a good signing.
Yeah, I mean, but I think I think I looked him up because you mentioned some names, and I was just highlighting and pasting into the search bar who these guys were. Because, like I said, I don't follow baseball as much as I used to since I moved out here. Since I don't really watch it as much. But then when I saw that, I think career-wise, I think he has like 60-something homers career-wise.
Yeah, I think 2019 was his best year. I think he finished with 18 home runs, I think, that year, if I'm not mistaken, and like 60 or 80 RBIs, something like that. So, look, he's not gonna give you 30 home runs, but again,
he's a good defensive catcher.
Yeah, but that's the whole point of going after George Springer. That's your piece right there. Now, another thing that they did say, which I'm not too happy about, but I get it. They don't see, Sandy Alderson said they don't see them going, the Mets, as far as the Mets organization, they don't see the Mets going, getting players via trade. They see getting pieces that they need via the free agency. Because what they want to invest in their farm system. They don't want to use these young kids as as collateral.
I wouldn't do that either because like we talk about how the Yankees always bought the talent or they traded. Like if you trade away your farm system, you're trading away a lot of prospects that could be good in the future.
Yeah.
So that does make sense. And I know that we were talking about when it was announced a couple of weeks ago when Sandy was named everything, he was going to be the GM and.
Well, no. At the moment, right now, so they're still waiting. So they're actually still their number one priority. Be honest, and I take that back because it said it was George Springer. Their number one priority right now is finding a general manager. What Sandy is doing now, what Sandy assumed the title of, is he's the president, but he's also now the director of baseball operations as well.
But it's more of a director of operations. Wink, wink.
Right. Right. And they're still in search of a GM.
We're going to let Theo take his year off, and then we're going to offer him a shitload of money.
Yeah.
by the way, interesting story about Steve Cohen I read today too.
What?
You know, he bought the Mookie Wilson autographed Buckner ball for $400,000,
Yep.
and he actually wants to put it in the museum.
Good. I'm glad. That's nice of him. That's a true fan. So they're interviewing for GM as we speak, and one of the considerations for GM actually stepped down and decided not to because his family's from Texas and he just wants to, for family reasons, he declined. He doesn't want to do it anymore. He took himself out of the running, and that is former Major League pitcher Chris Young. I don't know if you remember Chris Young. He had two seasons with the Mets, back in 11 and 12, and he actually pitched against the Mets when he was on the Royals in 2015. So he was one of the names mentioned for in the running for the GM, and then he stepped down. So what Cohen came out and said, listen, for the guys that either step down or don't want the job because they feel that my expectations of wanting a championship in the next 3 and 5 years are too high of a goal, then then he said, who wants them? We don't want you then. If you can't, basically if you can't cut it, right? And if you think that this goal is too high to expect a championship, especially if you're going to get the right pieces within the next 3 and 5 seasons, I don't blame him. Who the fuck wants you then? Then don't come and be a general manager for our team then. So again, I don't know if that's why Chris Young stepped down. He did cite that it's for family reasons, but who knows? So that was another thing that came out. And that's it. So Mets looking, as I said,
that was a good cup of coffee.
Mets not looking for trades because they want to invest in the farm system. But the thing that bothers me now is, so if they go into a bidding war, if it's between the Blue Jays and the Mets, if Cohen really wants to open up his wallet, he can, and we could see George Springer on the team. But the Dodgers are rumored now in the midst of an Arenado trade. Now, if the Dodgers somehow pull a trade off with the Rockies and they add Nolan Arenado now to that fucking team, you could pretty much give the World Series ring to the Dodgers again next year. I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Spring training games are all right to go in Arizona. Yeah, you could always do that, dude. Go to spring training games in Arizona.
Yeah, man. I could,
What is that? That's a cactus league, right?
Yeah.
And the Giants, do the Giants still play preseason out there?
Yeah. I think I know for a fact. I think if the Angels play at ASU,
okay.
The Cubs actually got their own facility built in Mesa. There's some other places. I think Scottsdale is another one. I don't know who plays in Scottsdale. There's Tucson. I mean, it's all over the state. I mean, I could go if I wanted to, but
let me get back to the Arenado trade really quick. But not about Arenado. The one trade I thought they were going to pull off, and the one trade I thought might just happen because it makes the most sense. I mean, not only is he's a good bat to have in your lineup, but he's one of the best defensive shortstops in the league. I really thought that was what they were going to do. I thought that was going to be their first move, was a trade for Lindor. And it didn't really, I mean, these were mock trades I saw on the internet. So again, that's not exactly what Cleveland's asking for. But if the mock trades are any inclination of what could possibly be offered to the Indians for Lindor, we're talking about maybe a Rosario or Jimenez, a Nimmo, and a low-level minor league player. I'm all right with that. I saw one mock trade, and again, mock trades have no reflection of what's actually offered to the team.
Yeah, it's like doing a mock draft for the NFL. Yeah. You don't know what's going to happen.
One of the mock trades I saw on, I think it was on SNY, was so-and-so, and this was for Arenado. One of the play, I think it was for J.D. Davis, another low-level farm system hand, and Familia. I was like, fuck yeah. Yes, please, yes. You mean to tell me we get Arenado and we get rid of Familia? Yes, please do it now. Pull the trigger.
That worked.
Of course it would work, but again, that's not necessarily what Colorado would take. They would be pretty stupid to get rid of Arenado for J.D. Davis, Jeris Familia, and a no-name minor league player. I'm sure they're going to want more. The other thing is too, but here's the thing though. Trades can sometimes also include cash. Cohen slip in a couple of extra million in there, Because remember, the whole reason why, first of all, there's bad blood between Arenado and the Rockies. He doesn't want to be on the team anymore. But
you could do it this way, where they could trade Arenado to the Mets and they give him Familia and Davis, and Cohen could say, well, how about we'll go 50-50 on the contracts and I'll pay off half the contracts.
Yeah. But the whole reason why the Rockies are even entertaining the idea of trading Arenado is because he's owed $35 million next year. And we talked about this the last time we were on, a lot of the major league organizations, a lot of the owners, and that was one of the positives of Cohen being a fresh owner in the league. Most of these owners took a huge hit this year. All that revenue that they didn't make, from ticket sales and merchandise and all that other stuff, they took $1 million hits. So they can't afford this.
That's why I said it wasn't fair to do the season like this.
But I think they still would have. I think they still would have lost out on millions of dollars if there was no season, though. Too. I think either way, I don't think it. Again, I'm not sure. I'm not an owner in baseball. I don't know the logistics of it, but so I don't know. Look, I hope it's not true. I hope they, if an offer doesn't seem like they're asking for too much, and you're not giving up too much of your farm system, and you can get a bat like a Lindor or an Arenado, maybe some cash in there. Why not? Because they're not being aggressive as far as the free agents right now. And I know it's not the winter meetings yet, but they need to start being aggressive because there's other.
And you're gonna figure if he goes into arbitration with Colorado too. That's my dad always said when arbitration comes up, it's always a bad thing for the player because that means there's always going to be that little bit of tension between the team and him. Well, not the players, more like management and everything.
They do the Brewers spring training at American Family Fields in Phoenix, and the Cubs are in Tempe or Mesa.
No, Cubs are in Mesa, Nick.
Okay.
They actually bought them they actually call it Wrigley West because they actually modeled it after Wrigley Field.
Oh, so why don't you do one of those? What the hell's wrong with you?
How am I going to get there?
What are you going to do, right?
What are you going to do?
So look, when are the one thing I didn't get a chance to look up, I don't know if you could do that really quick. If not, it's fine because we're almost at an hour. But when do the winter meetings officially start?
Let me check that for you.
And again, I'm almost 100% sure there's probably going to be virtual. I mean, I can't imagine them being able to hold actual meetings.
Unless they hold it in a city where they allow people to go in there and they could just, trying to see. Here we go. Due to the continuing effects of the coronavirus, the 2020, this is the 2020 winter meetings. I want 2021.
No, you want the 2020 winter meetings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the winter meetings are held in 2020.
The 2020 baseball winning meetings and trade show will not take place as previously planned December 6th through 10th at the Omni Dallas Hotel in Key Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center, Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And that's what it says there, but...
So it's supposed to be held in Dallas.
Right.
So they're probably going to do it virtually. But so you said it was between the 6th and the 10th?
Yeah.
So you can use it as pretty much of a timeline. It doesn't really matter where they have it, but you would assume that they're probably going to have it on those days, at least. So the 6th is on... Wait, that's a Sunday. So they'll probably have it that Monday. So basically next Monday, we should assume the winter meetings are going to start.
I'm actually looking it up right now. All right, here we go. Crazy.
Sometimes the winter meetings, I mean, most times not for the Mets, but
Yeah,
sometimes.
it says the 6th to 10th in Dallas, Texas. However, the annual event is expected to be either canceled or shifted to a virtual environment as a result of the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, it'll go. They're going to cancel it, but they'll go virtual.
So I mean, they canceled it in Dallas. So yeah, it's probably going to be like the way they did the NFL draft with the virtual this year.
So we can expect it either by Sunday or Monday, and that's again. That's I mean, and like I said, you know, except for being a Met fan and not really having having to endure these horrible winter meetings where our team does nothing, but they were always the exciting part of the season. Before leading up to the season was that what is the team going to get? What is going to happen via trade? So hopefully we get an early Christmas gift and we get a couple of key players because we need it. Something to be excited for next year. Again, we're excited that Cohen's a new owner. I am ecstatic that the Wilpons are no longer in Queens. I'm over the moon on that. But now we got a new owner and I want to see what he does. And again, I'm not saying that he needs to go out and buy all the free agents in the world, but let's make a splash. Let's make the league know that we mean business and we're not a second-rate team anymore.
We've always been treated like a second-rate team. Even when we look good, we were treated like the second-rate team.
Right. Well, now hopefully it's about to change. So, but all right, let's end this now. I thought this was a good show. I liked it. It was something different to have football on a Wednesday, right? And like I said, we got some.
I never want to see it again. To be honest, I never want to see this.
And we got some baseball news.
They did a 5-minute interview with Goodell, the biggest jerk-off in America, and even he still can't explain why this game was allowed to be delayed, and Denver got treated like shit. So.
No explanation. The Denver Broncos had no quarterbacks to go on the field, asked for a postponement, or even asked for other contingencies to be able to put something on the field, and they were denied.
So they got I mean, but what are you gonna do? And what the outcome would have been Thursday, having RG3 on the field, was done a week later, and he didn't prove anything by doing what he did.
No. All right.
So,
all right. Well, look.
That's why I said Roger Goodell's gonna be forced to resign by somebody.
Hopefully by next week. I'm not talking about Monday morning quarterback, but hopefully by next week we'll get some more Met news. That way we can report on that as well for like maybe another Friday show or something like that. All right.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right, guys. Hit that like button. You know the drill. Come on, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed.
Come on, guys. It's ridiculous. Me and Joe just going over the likes and how many views. By the way, me and Joe both click like, so we subtract 2 off there.
Yeah.
Our last feed, I think we said, was 4 minus us. That's 2.
Yeah.
So of 19 people, 2 people click like.
And Nick.
Yeah. Well, all right. So that's 3. There's one more out there, probably Sippy. So there's our 4.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, guys. Joe's right. The like button, please. It ain't that hard.
It's not. That's what she said. That is what she said. But no, seriously, hit the like button. Give us some love. And drop some comments. No, but you know what? Drop some comments too. I said this. Yeah. I said this on stream last time, and I'll say it again. On one of my previous streams, which has almost 100 views, it has a couple of dislikes, and I'm okay with that. I'm all right with thumbs down. I'm not saying that everybody that watches my stream has to give me a thumbs up. I would love it, but you don't have to.
Dislike just for the hell of it.
You don't have to, but if you genuinely dislike something, just fucking put a comment. Let me know what it is.
And you guys know I'm on the show every Monday with him, so I'm going to say something to piss you off anyway. So, yeah.
He's pissing me off now. You know, so
I pissed everybody off.
all right, Mike. Let's end the stream. Nick, thanks for commenting. Sippy, thank you for coming on for that brief moment. Always good to have you on. Always good to talk football. Our next show obviously will be Monday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you guys then. Until then, have a great weekend, and let's go Mets, let's go Giants, and we will see you Monday morning.
Go Big Blue.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.